Sports. Howdy, Ags. From the Tailgate, the home Aggie football. This is Coach and the delivery man, Corey. Today's episode brought to you by Frida Homes, building Aggie dreams, custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in the Brazos Valley. If you are looking for someone that cares about you and the details you care about, contact Frida Homes. Visit them on Instagram at frida.homes. Give Justin a call. 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everyone loves their Frida Homes. Folks, don't forget to email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube. Hey, subscribe, Corey. Football has started.
I'm happy. I'm stoked. Ready for a 5-6 win season. Let's get it going.
I love it. I just absolutely freaking love it. Look, there is some actual news in college football.
Go ahead.
It was announced. Conference realignment. Obviously, the stories about Florida State and whatnot have been coming out, but Oregon. It's official now. Arizona going to the Big 12.
Wait, the Big 12, right?
Big 12. Oregon and Washington.
Going
to the Pac-10, to the Big 10.
Big 10. They come
from the Pac-10 to the Big 10.
12 to the Big.
The Big 10, which is now going to be 18.
Yeah. So there won't be Big 10. It'll be a big.
All for 2024. So they're rolling in with UCLA and USC next year.
Yep.
That thing is going to be a monster.
That's right. Breaking news.
Does the SEC have to do something to counter that?
Yeah. Notre Dame, North Carolina, Florida State, maybe Duke. Imagine what they do. That'd be pretty cool.
So they're going to have 18.
Yeah.
Right now.
What's the Big 12 or SEC?
SEC says 14 now. They're adding 2 more next year, so 16. Yeah. Are you happy with 16, or who do you want to add?
I just said Notre Dame, North Carolina, Florida State, and Duke.
Oh, you're going to 20.
Yeah.
Why are you adding Duke? For basketball?
Yeah. Powerhouse, baby.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you wouldn't add Duke?
Sure.
They got Elko coaching. They won 7 or 8 games last year, didn't they?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I mean, shit. Are they better than Vandy?
Yes.
Okay.
They are.
Why can't we have 2 Vandys? They're better than Vandy in basketball.
Florida State. How about Clemson?
I'm not changing.
You're not getting Notre Dame, by the way, so you know they're staying independent because that's what they do.
No, I think Notre Dame's going to have to. If they're going to pick a side. It's either I'd take Clemson. But I like North Carolina and Duke have to stay together, right?
For basketball purposes.
Well, just for reason. It's going to suck. NC State, Wake Forest. I mean, you're used to seeing all those schools together.
They've become irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time they had a good basketball team at either one of those schools?
I don't know. Wake Forest beat A&M.
Today's episode, by the way, brought to you by White Claw and Corona. Good deal.
I don't even know what this is called. Corona Refresca.
This is raspberry today, not watermelon, so we're on that.
This is pineapple lime.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I thought it said penis lime, but it's not. It's pina lima.
Well, there you go.
It's not penis.
You were hoping for it, though. So let's do this. Let's do. We promised a little over under on the West win totals.
Yep.
Let's do that. Start off with that, and then we'll get into a little bit of A&M football practice.
Got it.
All right, so we're just going to do this alphabetically. We're going to start off with Alabama. Their over-under win totals is 10.5 wins.
Yep.
Look, they're clearly losing their best player on offense. They're clearly losing their best player on defense from last year.
Right.
But they may be a better team.
Why? That makes no sense.
I know. Because I think they're going to be better coached this year. I think their offensive and defensive coordinators are both better from the guys that they had last year. Bill O'Brien, to me, is a tool. A dude, whatever. He's got no feel for calling a game.
Right.
They took a step back when they hired Bill O'Brien from Sarkisian as offensive coordinator. I also think that with Steele, they become better at defensive coordinator. Who's
their quarterback? Milborn or whatever his name is?
Well, that's the big question, right? Is it Milroe?
Milroe or the kid from Notre Dame?
Is it Simpson, the young guy, the sophomore?
Everybody's saying it's going to be that kid from Notre Dame.
It's not going to be the kid from Notre Dame. How about that? I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be the kid from Notre Dame.
Y'all saw that.
Guaranteed. Y'all hear that?
Oh, you know he's going to start then. Every time you guarantee something,
done.
That's a guaranteed win for me.
Not the guy from Notre Dame.
All right, 10.5 wins.
I think it's Milroe, to be honest with you.
All right, 10.5 wins, over under. You're saying they're going to be a better team. They won 10 games last year.
Yeah, that's
they're a better team.
I think they're a better team.
So they're winning 11?
But there's also teams around them that some of the teams that they're playing are better, right? I think that
let's just look at the West.
LSU has a chance to be better, right?
Is LSU going to beat Alabama this year?
No.
Okay.
But they could.
Is Auburn?
How about Texas?
Texas might.
Week number 2, huge game, right? I mean, huge game in the implications of the playoffs too, right?
Right.
Because Texas Texas I don't think they're this awesome team.
Right.
I think that Sark is a mediocre head coach at best, right? I think that overall they won't play to the talent level. They have plenty of talent. They won't play to the talent level.
Same problem A&M has.
Consistently.
It's an A&M problem. Is that what you're saying?
What it has been in the past, for sure.
Gotcha.
And so, but if they beat Alabama, with how down we think that the Big 12 is this year specifically, with Oklahoma not necessarily.
We didn't say that Texas. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Texas
TCU coming off, TCU losing as much as they did. I mean, who? If you take Texas out of it, who's your number one team in the Big 12 right now? Is it Kansas State? Is it Oklahoma?
Could be one of the new guys. Could be UCF, Houston.
No.
BYU.
No.
Who's the fourth member? They just had Cincinnati.
No.
Okay, well that's not one of them. Texas Tech, pretty good.
It could be Texas Tech.
Texas Tech's pretty good.
I think has a chance to be pretty good this year.
You don't think Oklahoma's gonna be worth any good? I think they're gonna be. They can't be as bad.
Look, I do think they're gonna be better than last year.
They can't be as bad as last year.
But Venables has got to prove it, right? Venables has got to prove it. And we're getting off course here, right? But at the end of the day,
yeah.
My point is that Texas. Yeah, my point is Texas could run the Big 12 all the way through and go undefeated.
If they beat Alabama, and they could go undefeated,
and they could, and they get into that gets them into the championship, right? Easy peasy.
Oh yeah.
So that game I think has implications, huge implications nationally, right? As far as that goes. But the funny part is Alabama could lose that game and still make it.
Well, of course, it's happened before. They haven't even won the West before and still made the Final Four. So yeah, I mean but I don't see Alabama being what you're saying. I don't see how you can be better losing top pick in the draft, right?
I'm gonna tell you how.
You said
2 out of the top 3 picks in the draft, by the way.
Yeah, I don't see Alabama being any better.
I'm gonna tell you
last year.
I think this offense is gonna refocus on the running game. I think this offense is gonna get behind that offensive line with the tailbacks that they do have, by the way.
Right.
They've got a stable of tailbacks over there. They're going to get behind that offensive line, and they're going to use Milroe as a running quarterback, and they are going to pound the rock. And defensively, bringing Steele back, a guy that's been there with Nick Saban before, who knows that system, who's not going to get all kinds of creative and crazy like last year's guy, because they just got players. Why even bother with that? He's just going to let them play. He's going to simplify the whole thing, and they're going to come after folks. And I think this defense is going to get better because of that. And I think this offense is going to be a ground and pound and over-the-top game. And ultimately, that's going to lead to more wins. It's going to lead to more wins. I think this goes over.
Okay. I disagree with you. I think it'll go under. I'll tell you why. I think that if you become too one-dimensional like the run game, like an Army or a Navy, the teams are too talented in the SEC to let you do that. You can try it.
All right. Tell me which team is too talented for them to do that against.
Look at A&M. Their front four. A&M has the most talent in D-line.
A&M last year
the run. They couldn't stop it. Last year they could not stop it.
And everybody wants to talk about the fact that
this year they will. I hope that's what Alabama does, because Alabama will crash and burn.
Everybody wants to talk about the fact that because they were freshmen all around. No, it's because it's because not Elko, his replacement, DJ Durkin, has decided that he's going to play 3 down linemen. And he's going to put their outside linebackers.
And we talked about that.
Drop them into coverage.
Blue in the face.
And so He's not going to change. I know that people think that's going to change this year.
He's changing.
Everybody wants to talk about who's going to bring
LSU will stop the run. Every team in the West will stop the run. Every team.
You
mean tell me you think Alabama will be a running team this year?
Yes. Running team.
No. Are you talking about like bringing back the wishbone?
No, I mean, look, they're going to spread it out, but they're going to run the quarterback and use his legs, and they're still going to get it out to their wide receivers and some quick things to the wide receiver. But they're going to go with the thing that they're going to add is those wide receivers down the field with the threat of a run, play action. Wide receiver down the field.
Remember throwing the ball.
Remember Notre Dame last year with those huge wide receivers they had? Remember they had all those guys that were like 6'5", 6'6"?
They had a power running game.
And then what would they do with those big wide receivers and the tight end?
Throw it up to them.
Yeah.
But what was Notre Dame's record last year? 8-4.
But it wasn't just because of that. I mean, they don't have the talent. They don't have the same talent.
That's not 10.
They don't have the same talent. And you know what else they don't have? Nick Saban.
So you're saying Alabama's over/under is 10.5.
Yeah.
They're only going to lose one game. One game is all they're losing. Bless your heart.
One game.
Bless your heart. Okay.
One game. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to tell you.
Who's that one
Every
game?
year, by the way.
Real quick.
Let me finish the statement.
Every year.
Every year that people are down on Alabama, they win a national championship. Every year when they are expected to win a national championship.
I'm not saying I'm down on Alabama. I just don't think they're going to lose just one game. I'm saying they're going to lose 2 games. Might be Texas.
Yeah.
It might be LSU.
Okay.
Hell, it might be A&M.
Could be.
So that right there, I'm throwing out 3 names that you're like, oh, that could be.
I don't think they're going to lose to LSU this year. I don't think they're going to lose to LSU. I don't think they're going to lose to Texas this year either. Because that Texas defense is not going to stop that running game. They're not. They are going to run up and down the field on that Texas defense.
Could Arkansas beat them?
Yeah, I mean, is there games that they could lose? I think so. Yeah, there's games there.
Could A&M beat them?
Yes.
Could Ole Miss beat them? Could
No.
they? They can't?
No. They won't beat them this year. Ole Miss will not beat them this year.
Okay. Y'all heard
Ole
it
Miss
here?
will not beat them this year. And here's the thing. And they play Tennessee, too, by the way. They haven't even gotten to Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee. There you go.
I expect a fully focused, well-coached Alabama team, better coached than they have been the last 2 years, by the way.
Okay.
That's my expectation.
All right, let's go on because you're wrong.
I could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good chance.
I'll probably take the under when I bet it.
Pretty sure you already did.
Arkansas over under 7 wins.
It's a tough one. I have to go back and look at their schedule, but they're right there at it. You know what I'm saying? The 7-win mark. If I could take a push, I'd probably take a push because they don't. There's nothing that really. I like their quarterback. I hate their defense. I like their coach, but they lost a lot of talent. So I mean, it's like, what do you hold them?
Yeah, I think take A&M out of this equation.
Yeah.
Arkansas might be the team in the SEC that I think has the most variance. Could be
it could be really good or really bad. Yeah, it could go either way.
Because they could end up.
And
I wouldn't be surprised if they were 4-8.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if they were 10-2 either.
I'd be very surprised.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if they were 10-2.
That means they beat everybody in the West just about.
Well,
including your Alabama team, which they can't beat them because they're going to lose to Texas A&M. I don't see how Alabama's going to win. Anyway, we're getting off subject again.
Look,
so you're taking the over/under.
Arkansas, I'll take a push, like you said. It's probably what I would take, but I'm going to go over. Yeah, I'm going to go over.
I'll take the under then.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to go over. KJ Jefferson. I'm going to go KJ Jefferson with the win here. And let me tell you, and I think I've said this plenty of times. I think KJ Jefferson is an underrated and extremely good quarterback, college quarterback. Extremely good. Like, one of the best. And if he stays healthy this year, I expect him to be in the Heisman finalists.
You see him as an NFL quarterback?
I think that in the right system, he could be. But he's not just a natural NFL quarterback. I don't know that that's true.
I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's going to make it.
But
well, that's just my opinion.
But you don't have to be a good NFL quarterback to be a great college quarterback, Tim Tebow. Right? You don't have to be a good NFL quarterback to be a great college quarterback.
Yeah. I still don't think they. I think 7's their peak this year. Maybe 6-6, 5-7. I just don't like. They lost a lot on defense. They weren't that good on defense anyway last year. They lost that 2 linebackers. They lost. I mean,
they were horrible on defense, but
they lost their best players on defense. How do you get better?
Well, you get better by implementing a better system, right? I mean, they've been running that 3-3.
You have to have the players there.
They've been running that 3-3 crap over there that just doesn't work.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't think I like quarterback. I don't think he has a whole lot of weapons around him.
He probably has the best running back in the SEC behind him.
He's going to throw the ball. Maybe throw it to him a lot then. Because he doesn't have receivers to throw the ball to. The offensive line's not as good as they have been. So, I mean, there's a lot of things.
You expect that offensive line not to be good?
I think they'll be all right because he's a good offensive line coach.
Yeah.
I mean, but you lose talent. You have to replace that talent. You don't lose your best players and just stay good.
Remember back in the day when every year, the Denver Broncos would replace their running back with some guy that they picked up off the street.
Yeah.
And they'd come in and rush for 1,500 yards every year, no matter what. Because their offensive line coach, in spite of the fact that their offensive line would change sometimes, their offensive line coach was just the best in the business.
Right. I agree.
That's how I feel about Sam Pittman.
Okay.
I don't doubt the offensive line with that team.
I do a little bit.
My questions are on the outside more.
Right.
I do question. I don't know who those guys are going to be on the outside.
I just think there's a talent deficiency at Arkansas compared to Alabama, A&M, the Georgias, the Tennessees, the LSUs. I mean, they're right there, I think, with maybe the Auburns right now. And Auburn might even have as much talent.
They're better than Auburn.
I'm just saying talent-wise, Auburn has talent. It's just putting it together.
I agree with you in the sense. I do agree with you. Not in any sense. I completely agree with you that they don't have the talent of the teams like LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M, Georgia, maybe even Tennessee in that boat. You're right. They don't have that same level of talent. But they don't play all those teams. They play Alabama, they play Texas A&M, they play LSU, but A&M has notoriously underperformed season in and season out in spite of the talent. So hold on to that one. The other two teams, you're right. I mean, but they almost beat Alabama last year.
Is Arkansas better than Ole Miss?
I think Arkansas's beating Ole Miss this year. Yeah.
I don't think so. No. There you go again.
Auburn, 6.5.
Well, I was wrong again. Oh, that's under. Under. I mean, I don't even know what to get into. They don't know who the quarterback is. They don't want to start that guy that started last year, that freshman, which I liked. I liked him. I thought he was in, I can't remember his name, Austin or Al, whatever. That guy.
The guy from Oregon.
I don't know. Either way, Auburn doesn't have talent. Hugh Freeze, I like him as a coach. I think he's going to surprise some people. But 6.5 wins. That's, I think that's a lot to ask.
I think it is a lot to ask in his first season, replacing the entire roster. Here's my problem with Auburn. Every one of the quarterbacks sucks. They suck so bad that Hugh Freeze has gone out and brought in a guy from Michigan State, Thorne, who wasn't even good at Michigan State, and so that goes and to tell you what he's working with in house, right? I mean, we know Finley's not the guy, right? He's how many opportunities does that guy get? And so they just don't have that guy. But on top of that, they don't really have the pieces around him. It's not like they're looking like the quarterback's the only missing piece on that offense. By the way, right? Who's the receivers that are catching the football? Who's the running backs that are running the football? Right. The offensive line wasn't very good last year, right? I mean, all of this
but
group,
they beat A&M,
and they beat A&M. That tells you something. So defensively, they weren't great last year. Like there's nothing to hang your hat on with this team,
but Hugh Freeze.
So. And I just don't. I think that team's going to be better next year. I think they're going to be better the year after, right?
So we agree on Auburn.
Under
Okay.
Under 6.5.
Who
that might be by of all these games in the West, that's the one I'd bet the highest on.
Really?
Under 6.5 for Auburn. LSU 9.5.
I mean, they return a lot of the same players, don't they?
They do.
Good coach.
Lots of returning production.
What did they win last year? 9 games? 10 games?
9. 10 with the bowl game, right?
They won the West.
They won the West.
I'm right there at the 9.5, 10 mark. I like that. I'm going to say 9. I mean, are they beating A&M? Probably, because they're at home. They beating Alabama? Maybe. Are they beating Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Auburn? Probably.
You know what? I think they're going to start the
Arkansas.
season off with a loss to Florida State. Let me start there.
I like Florida State this year. We're not talking about that, though. That's a totally different.
Well, that's one loss,
I like Florida
right?
State.
That's one loss.
Yeah. All right.
And
You got to find 2 more.
Alabama and A&M. That too.
I've said maybes on those.
Yeah, well, okay, so maybe.
I'll give them 1. I think they'll win 1 and lose 1.
If I had
They
to
got
bet,
A&M at LSU this year, so I mean I don't like that.
if I had to bet,
You have to bet. You have to bet.
I'd put them at 9 wins.
So you're taking the under.
Yes.
I'll agree with you. I mean, I'm right there at it. I'm trying to. I mean, I think they'll win. I think they'll beat Arkansas. I think they'll beat everybody other team in the West. I'm not sure.
Grambling State.
Yeah, they'll beat them.
This is one of these teams. And this is kind of weird to say because I just said I think Ole Miss loses to Arkansas, right? And look, LSU could lose to Arkansas. I think LSU loses to Ole Miss this year.
Yeah, it makes no sense what you just said.
Yeah, I understand
They
that.
play Missouri,
I understand that. But
Georgia State,
Florida.
Army.
There are in the SEC West. Those are where their losses are coming, right? They're coming. They're
Except
going
for Florida State.
Florida State. It's going to be Florida State, Ole Miss, Alabama. I'm just telling you.
I'm sold. Under. Got me. Done. Next team, Mississippi State.
That defense, by the way, is
Which one?
overrated. LSU's defense is overrated.
Perkins is not overrated.
Perkins is not. He's
the next Lawrence Taylor.
They're supposedly moving him more to playing more middle linebacker instead of rush guy, right?
Well, that's freaking dumb.
That is freaking dumb.
That's freaking
There's no
dumb.
question.
You don't take a great rush guy and put him as a DB.
Right.
You know? Seriously, why do you? I don't understand why people.
I don't know. That's
reinvent the wheel.
That's Durkin.
God, I don't get it.
Why he likes to do that.
Overton, you're a great defensive end. You're playing cover for now.
Yeah, here, drop back into coverage, buddy.
God, it drives me nuts. I'm just gonna pull my hair out right now.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
To me, that's where this. I think that offense is probably going to hum quite a bit this year. I mean,
I think the defense is gonna be fine.
I think that defense
told me
overrated.
that one of the rankings had.
Everybody loves their
defensive tackles.
Everybody loves their defensive line. I don't think that defensive line is as good as everybody expects it to be. Everybody's talking highly about their DBs, and I've said how much I like Denver Harris. I still don't think that whole DB group is great. They lost a ton, and Perkins. Yes, that dude's a monster.
So they have a great defensive line.
They don't. I don't think they do.
Good secondary. And
I don't think they have a great defensive line. That's my point.
So you sold me. I think they're going to go over 9.5 wins now.
All right.
I'm
under 9.5.
You sold me.
I'm going to win that bet too. Mississippi State at 6.5.
Under.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. You lose Mike Leach, man. It's a lot.
I
mean, I think the team might be playing for something, but I don't know what their philosophy is on the coaching staff. I heard it's going to be more run.
Yeah.
And you don't
more traditional.
But you don't go traditional with the play. Mike Leach recruited. He recruited to his system.
Yeah.
He recruited quick, speedy wideouts that run 5 yard, and catch the ball. He doesn't throw the ball deep. They have a good quarterback. He's accurate.
They got a 3-year starter at quarterback, right?
I mean, I'll tell you what, on talent level in the SEC, the way they recruited, even Mike Leach, he's a good guy.
Bottom half.
Yeah, I mean, they're above Vandy maybe, right, in recruiting. I mean, they get 3 stars, and he turns them into 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's just Mike Leach being Mike Leach. I don't know if you're going to get the same thing out of, I don't even know the coach's name.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to agree with everything you just said. I think losing Mike Leach gets those guys. It takes away from that team. It takes away from that
you
team.
should do that from now on. All I need is a yes man. That's all I need.
Well, you got it on this one.
There you go.
I am with you on Mississippi
all
State.
we need. Yes,
I am with you on Mississippi State.
Good.
You know, that defense was pretty good last year, though. You think they can carry them?
No.
Good enough.
Well, they were good against A&M because A&M sucked.
Yes.
I mean, fuck. Who were they good against? Who was the team they gave up 30 points in the second half to lose the game? You remember that? They were up by 28, and you're like, oh, this game's over. And next thing you know, there they come. I don't remember who it was, Arkansas or Ole Miss or one of the teams.
Yeah, I mean, look, they weren't perfect by any means. I think that defense didn't get enough credit last year, but at the same time, I do. I agree. I don't know what I'm arguing here. I agree with you 100%. I think that the loss of Mike Leach, I think the fact that the system is changing so drastically, and the players that were recruited there were recruited to play Mike Leach's system.
Exactly.
Right? And to me, that alone gives me hesitation on saying they're going to win 6 games, and so I'd go under.
Yeah, they're going under. 6 games, fine. 6 is still under.
Yes, 6 is still under. Ole Miss at 7.5.
I actually like the way Lane Kiffin coaches. Yeah. Usually, I don't like him as a person. I like the way he coaches. I think he gets the most out of what he has as players. He makes some dumbass calls. I mean, the 4th down calls on his own 20-yard line or 30-yard line. If Jimbo did that every now and then, I'd be all right. But Lane he does it all the time.
Yeah.
He doesn't catch anybody else off guard. 7.5. Man.
Where
you at on that?
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
You're going under, aren't you?
I'm going to tell you that they've got probably
the same quarterback, same running back,
the best running back in the SEC.
You said Arkansas.
Top 2. One of those 2 guys is the best running back in the SEC.
Right? Put Reuben Owens.
Okay. One of the best running backs in the SEC, who led the league in rushing last year as a freshman, right?
You talking about the whole SEC or the SEC West?
I'm talking the whole SEC.
Florida's got a good running back too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Georgia's got some good running backs.
That haven't done it yet, but yes,
they did as a committee.
Yeah, but you're right. I'm not denying that, right?
Yeah.
I think their quarterback is in his second year in that system is going to be better.
Oh, is he the starter?
Oh yeah, there's no question.
No question.
No question. Do you want a guarantee on that?
I love a guarantee.
100%. Jackson Dart is the starter for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Okay, so you bring in a guy that was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year 2 years ago or something like that, like the first team All Big 12.
What did he do last year?
I'm just telling you. What did Jackson Dart do last year?
He had a pretty good. He had a good season. He had a good season.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't great by any means, but it was good.
He had a good season. Why would you bring this guy in?
I think
for 1 year to sit on the bench, say, "Hey, man."
Yeah, he's gonna sit the bench.
I think you're wrong.
Listen, if you're Lane Kiffin and the guy wants to come, why would you tell him no?
Lane Kiffin sold him something.
The question is, why did Spencer Sanders decide to come to Ole Miss? That's what I don't understand.
I don't either.
Because he ain't going to start.
Well, that's the thing. I think he has somebody tell him, you are going to start, because that was the selling thing. Doesn't make any sense.
Look.
Ooh, Georgia?
Here's the tough part. They play Georgia.
Yeah.
They play Alabama.
Yeah.
They play LSU, right?
They play A&M.
They play and, Tulane ain't bad. I guess what I'm saying is this team offensively I think is going to be humming pretty good. But yet Lane Kiffin's going to make some dumbass mistakes. And he's going to make even more mistakes because of the fact that defense is going to be horrendous. Horrendous. Their defense is going to be terrible.
The one thing their defense doesn't have is Durkin, so they can't be that bad.
So you know who their defense coordinator is?
Who?
He's a new guy. He was the defensive coordinator for Alabama last year. And here's why this
What's his name? Price? What was his name?
I can't remember right now. No, it's not Price. But this is my problem.
Yeah.
Alabama's defense was bad with that guy. Who's got more talent defensively?
Alabama didn't have a bad defense.
They were not good.
They weren't bad.
They were not good.
Oh, man. You need to look up definitions. They were not bad.
is he going to have better talent at Alabama or at Ole Miss? That's an easy question.
It is an easy question.
Yeah. And
Alabama.
Clearly. That defense is going to be horrible. And to me, because of that, they're going to lose games that maybe they shouldn't. Their offense may win a game or two. I think they go under.
Okay.
I think they go under. I think they lose to Georgia, clearly. I think they lose to Alabama. I think they lose to LSU. No, I just said they beat LSU. They lose to Arkansas.
Are we doing this one today?
No.
I didn't think so.
We're not doing A&M today.
Okay.
So 7.5 that's five wins, 5 losses, right? Let me name them for you. I'm going to name them right off the bat.
Do it.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Georgia, A&M, Arkansas, Alabama, Tulane. 5. There it is.
That's it?
That gets them on under.
They might beat Tulane.
They could beat Tulane. They could beat Arkansas. They could beat A&M. I mean, Jimbo hasn't beat them in like years. So.
Well, the way you're talking about A&M, every team you talk about, they have one loss to A&M. Hate to see what you say about A&M next time.
Next week's over.
Over under on A&M is 11.5. What are you thinking? Over? No.
I'd probably take the under 11.5.
Yes, you would.
I don't know what it is about this Lane Kiffin team this year. I don't have a lot of confidence in them.
You never have a lot of confidence in them.
No, that's not true.
It's just like Jimbo. You never have confidence in him either. I'm just sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. You need to start having more confidence in Jimbo.
And Lane too. And
so you're taking the under in Ole Miss?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under.
I am with you. I'll take the under also.
All that, and you can agree.
On what? I said
right.
I don't think he knows who his quarterback's going to be. I really don't think he's going to be Jackson Dart. I don't understand how you could bring a guy like Sanders in and sell him that he's coming here. Because it's not just that. Why would he want to come to Ole Miss?
That's a good question.
Why would you want to go to Ole Miss?
But that's a Sanders problem, not a Lane Kiffin problem.
No, I'm just saying.
You know what
Lane
I mean?
had to sell him on something. He probably called Lane. Lane's like, man, you need to come here.
To me,
you'd
that's
keep
Sanders,
our bench warm. You'd keep our bench so warm. You think that's what he told him? No.
That's a Sanders problem, not a Lane Kiffin problem.
It's going to be a Lane Kiffin problem pretty soon.
No, because he doesn't care if Sanders doesn't even stay on campus. He's got a backup, the kid that transferred from LSU that's going to be the next quarterback after Jackson Dart leaves this year.
Well, Jackson Dart's going to leave because Sanders is going to be the starter.
All right, so that's where we're at. Let's talk a little A&M football.
Do it.
We'll do the over-under next week.
Got it.
But look, football practice started.
Yep.
Football practice started.
Who'd you not see out there?
Jimbo got on the stage and did his normal press conference, and he talked about the same things he always talks about.
Right.
You know, they were impressive leadership. My coaches are the best coaches ever.
Of course.
All my players look better than they ever have. It's all about execution. And what else did he say? That's pretty much about it, right?
Yeah, execution. You got to execute. If they don't execute, they're not going to win. No.
So
accountability. Say anything about accountability?
Great. No.
Leadership. Anybody being
leadership? Yep. We have great leadership.
Yes, we need to be.
By the way, everybody's a great leader when there's no bullets flying, right?
Yeah.
Like when everything's going great, everybody's a great leader.
Right.
You don't have great leadership until turmoil happens.
Right.
Right. That's when you know you have great leadership because that's when it comes out.
Who was a great leader last year?
Not Jimbo.
Gotcha.
But there's some guys on that team that probably deserve some credit for being leaders on that team, and they don't get it at all.
Right.
At the end of the day, everybody's praising that man. Everybody, go listen to Texas. Go listen to Billy and Nuno and Olin and everybody says this and what in the world Everybody from inside the building says how great everybody looks, and they're talking about this leadership. I love listening, hearing how great things are going inside that building, and the fact that there's the camaraderie in it. Yeah, everybody's buddies when there's no bullets flying, man. We're all friends.
Yeah.
It's up until the moment when the shit starts happening, and that's when all of a sudden, that changes, right?
It should have changed last year.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Who stepped up last year? Who was a leader last year? Anais was hurt, so he's usually, I think he'd be a leader.
Yeah, agreed. And he's going to be a leader on this team.
Who else are you looking at?
But first things first, leadership comes from the top.
You talking about Jimbo?
Correct. Leadership comes from the top.
All right.
And so we'll see. We'll see whether...
I'll tell you, Jimbo says all the right things, but does he do the right things?
He doesn't even say the right things. He just says the same things.
He's more of those parents say, do as I say, not as I do. You ever heard that saying?
Oh, yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do. So,
but he always says the same things. Yeah. Oh, we got to execute that. You know whose job it is for that team
is that
to
supposed
execute?
to be Jimbo's voice?
Probably not. I don't know.
I
don't know if you know that.
You sound like a president. You sound like one of the old presidents. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. Hear it again.
We the people.
There you go.
I don't know. Whatever.
I know.
All I'm saying is that...
Must be the White Claws.
Yeah. all I'm saying is that when it comes to all the things that everybody wants to talk about, right? Like, one of the big storylines, offensive line. Why is the offensive line going to be better? Oh, we're healthier. First of all, this offensive line.
A year under our belts.
Number one, yeah, they do. But number one, let's be clear here. Zune, Robinson, and Fatherly played every game last year.
No, they didn't. Zune was hurt.
No.
Did he get hurt? I thought we had another left tackle there for a little while.
Oh, he might have missed a part of one game. Yeah.
I thought it was the last couple games he missed.
He might have missed a couple. Zune might have missed a game.
Right,
but he was started most of the year. Let's say he started most of the year.
I got you. I'm with you.
Robinson and Father started all year, right?
They were awful.
They were awful. They were all awful. Especially Robinson and Father.
Oh, that's the ones I was really talking about.
Left guard. So who got hurt at left guard? Aki got hurt. Moko got hurt. Yeah, we were better when the guy that replaced him, Dewberry, got in the game. So you're blaming the injuries, but the guy that replaced him was the best one of them all.
I agree.
Foster. Oh, wait a minute. Foster? That guy, number one, he hadn't done crap since he's been on campus. He hadn't been the good offensive lineman since the day he's been in company. He was a great recruit. Yep. Apparently, he can throw the shot put and the discus.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But that dude hadn't been great inside. And at the end of the day, their best games as an offensive line came with Wyckoff at the helm against LSU.
He's gone.
So that is the biggest misconception around everywhere that, Foster's back. We're going to be better because our center's better. Whoa. He didn't even practice in the spring.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
And I'm not saying they can't be better. I'm saying they can be. But they can be if Adazio does a better job.
That's true.
And they've got bodies. I mean, there's a lot of guys there.
A lot of talent.
There's a lot of bodies, a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Crownover's
looking better and better on the outside, adapting to being a tackle, right? Basantis came in. But Basantis, you don't want Basantis out there.
No.
He's a freshman. He's not ready.
Right.
He's not ready.
Gotcha.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Moko being back. We talked, Aki's still there. I think they're moving him. Aki's moving out to tackle. Right?
I thought they moved him off the field. Sorry, just saying, Aki.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, he sucks. Sorry, Aki.
Yeah. And then they bring on all these backups from Boston College,
they're top.
It's going to be great, right?
Like bringing a bunch of guys. It was UConn.
Like graduate transfers from Boston College. Like
next year, we're getting guys from UConn. I mean, Jesus, UConn and UMass. Come on into A&M. We already got Boston College's shitty players.
So,
guys, does that sound awful saying that?
It is.
Oh man, that's awful.
Thank you, Adazio, because now we've got like 7 former Boston College players.
Yes.
I appreciate that, Adazio.
Yes.
Like Boston College has been great, right?
Yeah,
they've been a great football program, right?
They can't even win 3 games in the ACC.
All right, so I guess my point here is that
it must be coaching.
Unless Adazio does a better job, that offensive line is in the same boat as it was last year. It really is.
Yeah.
The positive to me is this is where I think they also where they most have a chance to be better. This is the thing that I think gives them the best chance to be better.
All right.
Is that Petrino and his system are going to be a little bit simpler and more go, less think, right? And so that's not just for the quarterback. That's not just for the wide receivers. That's going to include the offensive line. And those guys, like I've said, have got the physical talents and tools to do the job. So maybe if they're not so confused about what their assignment is, they can actually execute it.
I heard one of lineman, I can't remember who it was, talking on Texags, and they asked him, said, "Hey, how's it going this year? How's it different from Petrino from last year?" "Oh, it's pretty much the same thing. We're all running up tempo. Everything's pretty much the same as last year." I don't want to hear that.
No.
Why do you want to hear that? I want to hear it's totally different. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Everybody knows where to go. And instead, no, it's just like last year. Last year sucked. Did you tell everybody we're at the lake?
Oh, we're at the lake today.
We're at the lake. That's why we're together. You don't get to see this often.
No.
So we're about to go get in the boat.
Yep, time to get in the boat, man.
Go cruising. So,
all right, gig 'em, Aggies, from the tailgate.
That's right.